Learning theory describes how students receive, process, and retain knowledge during learning. Cognitive, emotional, and environmental influences, as well as prior experience, all play a part in how understanding or a worldview is acquired or changed and knowledge and skills retained. Learning theory is defined as a set of different concepts that observe, describe, explain, and guide the learning process of people and everything that relates to this process.
First, behavioral learning theory. Learning can be explained from observable events relating to the behavior and the context in which learning occurs. Studies concerning behavioral theory are based on experiential psychology. An example of behaviorism is when teachers reward their class or certain students with a party or special treat at the end of the week for good behavior throughout the week. The same concept is used with punishments. The teacher can take away certain privilege of the students' misbehavior. Second, cognitive theory. Cognitivism studies how the mind interprets, processes, and enhances stored information in memory. Its foundation lies in obtaining learning from childhood, promising that children have an orderly structure for information processing. In this theory, individuals are active entity in their learning process. For example, when a student learns about addition and subtraction, he is able to transfer that knowledge when he uses it to create a budget to help him save money for a new video game.
Third, constructivist theory. Constructivism indicates learning is not obtained passively but actively. As a consequence, knowledge is a construction of the human being as a product of its relationship with the environment, its own capabilities, and previous schemes. This is one of the most used theories today and is related to the following theorists: Jean Piaget, David Alsobel, Jerome Bruner, and Lev Vygotsky. An example: a group of 2 or more students work together and teach one another, and students create their own questions and seek to solve them through research and observations. Fourth, meaningful learning theory. The meaningful learning theory was developed by the American psychologist David Alsobel. This theory proposes that the human being relates the new knowledge with those he or she already possesses. Meaningful learning is based on obtaining quality learning and understanding of concepts, contrary to memory or rote learning, which is based on memorizing concepts without the need to understand them. An example of meaningful learning is to understand how multiple mathematical formula can be derived from a single formula rather than memorizing all of them by note.
Fifth, discovery learning theory. The theory of learning by discovery was developed by the American psychologist Jerome Bruner. Like constructivist theory, discovery learning encourages the participation of individuals in their learning process. It considers effective learning is obtained when a student faces a problem not only to solve it but to transfer it. An example, students are given a problem to solve. In order to solve the problem, student must gather information, research, and ask questions about possible solutions to the given problem. 6. Socio-constructivism. The Russian psychologist Lev Vygotsky is the leading theoretician of social constructivism. This theory is characterized by describing learning as a process where social interactions is key to obtaining knowledge. The socializations process plays a crucial role in learning, as well as connections with prior experience. An example, discussion even in lectures, promoted by the educator, asking open questions and allowing time for responses.
7. Information processing theory. This theory postulates individuals are information processors. They do not necessarily have to interact with the real environment, but their interaction is with the subjective representation made of them. According to this theory, learning is obtained through cognitive processes. This theory is defended by theorists Robert Gain and Richard Mayer. The first stage of the information processing theory is sensory memory. As the word suggests, it means what we experience through our senses such as sight, taste, listening, touch, or smell, and hearing are considered to be the most important ones. For example, when Johnny is reading, she is receiving sensory information from the book in front of her. Her eyes are taking the size and the shape of each letters. The letters group together to make words, and how it all looks in the page. That's all in sensory stage. 8. Social learning theory. The theory of social learning is represented by Canadian psychologist Albert Bandura. According to this theory, learning is obtained as a consequence of mental processes and their relationship with the environment. Social determinants influence this process, so modeling is essential when learning. Social learning theory examples in everyday life are common, with one of the most evident being the behaviors of children, as they imitate family members, friends, famous figures, and even television characters. If a child perceives there is a meaningful reward for such behavior, they will perform it at the same point. 9. Theory of multiple intelligences. The creator of this theory is the American psychologist Howard Gardner. Gardner proposes every human being has 8 intelligences. The development of these will depend on the cultural and environmental exposure the individual has. According to Gardner, not everyone learns in the same way, and learning becomes more effective when information is individualized and pluralized. Teachers need to understand theories to be prepared and utilize them in their classrooms. Understanding of the learning theories helps teachers connect to all different kinds of students. Teachers focus on different learning styles to reach different students, and creating teaching that focuses directly on students' needs and attitudes. Here's a message for all the teachers, student teachers. The best method is the method that works. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.